On the 3rd of December 2024, there are going to be some changes to the CPC for the first time since it was introduced in 2008. But what are they? How are they going to affect you? And are they a good thing? So the first thing that's going to change is the introduction of a National Drivers CPC. At the moment, the CPC allows us to drive domestically here in the UK as well as in Europe. Now the CPC moving forward will have two options. We can carry on doing the CPC as we know it now, and that will adhere to the rules that we have to be able to follow to drive in Europe, or we can do the National Drivers CPC, which will allow us to only drive here in the UK. Drivers who pass their test after the 3rd of December or before still will receive the International Drivers CPC, the European one, the one that we currently get now. There's no changes to that. But moving forward, the CPC courses that you'll be able to do will either be the national ones or the European ones. With the National Drivers CPC, you still will need to do 35 hours of training, but the courses can now be done in 3.5-hour blocks, unlike the 7-hour blocks that they're currently done in. It's not clear though whether that's also changing for the European CPC. Once you've done your 35 hours of training, you will receive a new card. This one is going to look different to the current CPC card. Now with the courses only being 3.5 hours long, that should give drivers more flexibility, and that was one of the aims of the changes that have been made. Personally, I think that's going to be a good thing. When I did my CPC course a few weeks ago with driver hire training, we were talking about the fact that these changes may or may not be coming into place. And one of the things that was mentioned was the fact that we were basically giving up a whole day to do that course. Now, some people mentioned in comments on that video and on previous videos I've made about the CPC that they have to do it sometimes at the weekends. So of course now, only needing to do a 3.5-hour block, you could have the course done on a Saturday morning and still have most of your Saturday left to do whatever it is that you wanted to do. So personally, from that point of view, I think it's going to give people a lot more flexibility. The only downside to that is still having to do 35 hours worth of CPC training. If you do them in 3.5-hour blocks, that means you've got to give up 10 Saturday mornings, for example, to do that course, or those courses that you would need to do to meet those requirements. Whereas at the moment, if you do them as 7-hour blocks, yes, it's the whole day, but you've only got to give up 5. So some people may not see it that way. Something else that was mentioned in the article that I was reading is that on the 1st of February 2025, there will be an introduction of a return to driving qualification. This is for people whose CPC has expired up to a period of 2 years, and they will be able to do a 7-hour course to get people back behind the wheel. And that is for both the national and international, the European CPC, but those changes are still under consultation. One thing to bear in mind though, if you do go down the national CPC route rather than the European CPC route, if you do change jobs and do have to do some European driving, it's not clear what's going to happen. It looks like you're going to have to redo a whole lot of CPC courses again that will enable you to drive in Europe. So bear that in mind when you are booking your courses in advance, especially if you do have a job or may change jobs that could potentially require you to be driving in Europe. Now, I mentioned earlier on that I'd attended a CPC course with driver hire training. A video review for that will be linked somewhere on the screen here. In the description for that video, as well as in the description for this video as well, there is a discount code for £5 off of a CPC course booked with driver hire training. Now that's £5 off of each course. So if you book 5 individually rather than as one booking, you'll save £5 off of each one. That discount code does run until the end of this year, till the end of 2024. So get your CPC courses booked if you need them and save yourself a little bit of money. Now, I know the CPC course is one of those things that most HGV drivers really don't like. And do these changes go far enough to appease them? Probably not. They're the type of people that are thinking that the CPC should just be got rid of. It's not needed. But as we say, it's not going anywhere. It's here to stay. Do these changes go far enough to make it flexible for people to get their CPC courses? Definitely. Bringing it down to 3.5 hours so you're not giving up your whole day, or if you are doing it midweek, then your boss has not got you out for the whole day. You could still come in for an afternoon or do them on a Monday morning and then start your week a little bit later. There is going to give you that extra flexibility that a lot of drivers will actually need. Let me know in the comments what you think about the changes that are happening to the CPC, whether you think they're a good thing, a bad thing, or whatever it is that you feel about it. Don't forget to check out the video where I review the CPC course from Driver Hire Training. Subscribe so you can see the review of the next course that I'm doing with them. But all that's left for me to say is thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.